Are we live? Yay! Hello! Welcome everyone to the 12 games of Haz-Mas. Uh, welcome. My name is Anya. My pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be your GM for this Serenity RPG one-shot. But before we get into that, Brendan, if you could talk about the things and the stuff.
Sure. This is part of our 12 asterisk games of Hazmas that we are doing a end of year charity drive. We do charity throughout the year on Live from the Apocalypse. It's our main raison d'etre. But we have a big push at the end of the year, and we're currently raising money for the Rainbow Railroad, which is an international organization that helps LGBTQ plus people in bad situations get to hopefully better situations, get them out of danger. They operate in many countries around the world, including this one that we, most of us currently live in because of the times, what we do be living through. We are currently raising money for the Canadian branch. So if you are so inclined to donate with your cold hard American Freedom Eagle dollars, that exchange rate is working in your favor. You get a multiplicative impact there. You can find the donation link in the button where the subscription uh, button would normally be. We prefer that you take the money you would be giving to us, and rather than have Jeffy B take his cut and or pay out any sort of like Amazon bit corporate script, you just take it and you donate it directly to the people that we're raising money for. Um, you can still subscribe to us if you're really feeling it, but we've hidden that button. And to find it, you must answer these riddles 3. Um, but I think that is all the spiel that I'm going to do on that for now.
Okay. So then before we get into the game proper, I just wanted to do a little bit of info for people who have never played the Serenity RPG. This was actually my original RPG back in my freshman year of college. I didn't play any other systems before this. I love it so much. So, just so you know, the system uses dice from a D2 to a D12. There are no pesky D20s in this. And players will roll combined stats between their core abilities and their skills or their specialties. There are a range of difficulty ratings from easy to impossible, and each of these has their own success and extraordinary successes. Additionally, all players have 6 plot points at the beginning of this session. So these can be used to boost dice rolls to higher dice or spent to allow something to happen in the game, such as being prepared for an unexpected situation. And in a campaign, they can also be used between sessions as advancement points to upgrade abilities, skills, and assets or remove complications. So that's the deal with Serenity. And before we get into the game, let's introduce ourselves. So let's start with Brendan because I already introduced myself. So Brendan,
Oh goodness! All right, why am I
tell us about
always
your
first?
character a little bit.
Oh gosh. Well, hey, I'm Brendan. We'll do plugs and such at the end, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm another GM and player here on Life in the Apocalypse. My character, I should say, is Nestorius Lee. Goes by Ness, sort of filling the socialite role on the ship, sort of a ne'er do well professional gambler from a well heeled core family.
Okay, I'm just looking down the line. So Jilly, you're next.
Hello. You can hear the dulcet tones of my dog in the background who is being oppressed because he's not allowed upstairs right now. Um, he will be leaving shortly to go frolic in the meadows, but in the meantime, please enjoy Treacle. Hello, I'm Jilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly most places on the internet. I am an editor, a writer, a actor, a dialect coach. Like I use thespian of many hats, which is pretentious but accurate. And I am playing Rye Maxwell, who is the ship's pilot. These are my pilot goggles because I can't find my actual goggles.
I
Although
love
this, at
them.
least, I get to use my prescription glasses for as well, so I can see things. If you know the Jilly lore, I really need these glasses, so that's a good thing. Um, my pronouns are she, her, and Rye's pronouns are she, they.
Okay, perfect. Erin, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Erin, also she, her, and I will be playing Myrtle Quinby, who is a psychic and the ship's medic.
Perfect. And finally, last but not least, Rouge.
Hello, my name is Rouge. I will be playing Juniper, who is the ship's mechanic. Um, and doesn't really have much else. She, despite constantly prattling on weird little bits of trivia that she knows, doesn't talk as much about her own anything. So kind of a bit of a blank slate as far as where she came from before she joined the crew of our ship here.
Perfect. So then that is all of the housekeeping, shall we say, for the session. So why don't we get started? And I will read off of the Google Doc, the Word doc that I made instead of the piece of paper that I printed out. So to start. The holiday season has come again, the verse ablaze with festive lights, candles in windows, floating chandeliers, and handmade decorations as the dozens of planets and hundreds of moons that have been terraformed to sustain human life celebrate in their own varied and unique ways. From the underground cave planet of Shoja Downs to the glitz and glam of Sinan, all the way to the dusty, rundown streets of Three Hills in the Georgia system. Even the tens of thousands of ships dotting the verse are their own sparks of light, if you look hard enough and maybe squint a little. The camera pans over to one of the many blips in the galaxy, a Firefly class ship that has seen its time in the verse, making its silent way among the stars. It's been a while since your last job, though hopefully your luck will turn soon. One can only eat so many Blue Sun protein bars before they start to suffer a bad case of cabin fever out in the black. Now, we cut to who would like to go first?
I will go first.
Okay, so we cut to Rye in her studio. Now, Rye, if you could describe what this converted guest room looks like for us.
Yeah, I think this is a fairly standard sized bunk, which is to say, like, not a huge room. Um, I'm not visualizing like the Star Trek cabins here, which are like
Mm-hmm.
mini like hotel suites, but something altogether more cramped. But I think
Mm-hmm.
everything that is not completely essential has been removed from this room, and there are twinkle lights that are all across the ceiling, and also what I suspect to be a very, very expensive like lighting system that looks almost like a gallery, um because this is a glass studio and the lighting is kind of reflecting and refracting, so I think that there are partitions set up to kind of not cause glare, but I think that the partitions have kind of a rainbow of color splashed across them at any given point. And I think at the moment you can see there's kind of a row or shelf that is different kinds of plants in various levels of identifiability. Um, and probably some, most maybe, that aren't ones that would be recognized as being real. Um, there's some silly stuff, like there's a glass octopus that has kind of tentacles in various colors. Treacle is about it, as you can hear. Um, and you can see that there is on one wall kind of a half finished mural of stained glass that is, I mean, the light isn't shining through it because it's up against a bulkhead, but you can tell that it's a work in progress. But Rye, who is kind of a slight figure, is sitting. Actually, I was gonna say sitting weirdly, but I am sitting cross-legged on my desk chair right now, so I guess that is appropriate. With like a tiny little blowtorch, and is sculpting what looks like a miniature horse, like a chess piece. The knight, um, and has a shield over her face as well as the goggles, which is probably an odd look, but she's got a tongue sticking out, like, and is concentrating very hard.
Okay, well, in that case, just for fun, I would love for you to make a roll for me to see how successful you are in your
I
glass-making endeavor.
I'm good
Um,
at that for reasons.
yeah. So I need you to roll your glass blowing specialty, and then you can roll either agility or willpower.
Uh,
This is something that you've done before, so it's going to be an average difficulty. So you need to beat a 7.
so I'm blowing. I'm rolling my D8 for glass blowing. Would it also be my
Mhm.
artistry or just my
No.
agility?
Yeah, so this is you have artistry and then you've specialized beyond that. So you
Okay.
roll the specialty die and then you roll either agility or willpower.
Okay, that is a 7.
Perfect. Hey, meets it beats it.
I'll take
Uh
it.
yeah, with a 7, you like finish off that last little bit with a flourish and you look down at this miniature horse and it is quite perfect, actually.
And I think you just hear her go quietly. And it
Perfect.
joins on the shelf, I think, probably 3 or 4 other chess pieces.
Well, it'll need a little bit of time in the annealing
Yes,
thing.
that's true. That's
I've
true. Maybe
I've
it's like a
watched
cool.
glass blowing shows.
Yeah. Listen, it's a friend of mine just bought all these glass blowing supplies, and I was like, I'm so jealous. But I looked it up online how much it cost, and I was like, oh, an expensive hobby. I see.
Yep. So we will pan away from you here, and who would we reach next? And where are you? If you need references, remember I do have the entire book of the whole shit. What do you think?
I can go next.
Okay.
I think that Ness is in his bunk.
Okay.
And I think that Ness actually is just waking up.
Mm.
He tends to not be an early riser. He actually awakes very suddenly from an apparent nightmare. Sort of in a cold sweat. Probably still in his clothes from the night before that he passed out in. Um, Getting up out of his bunk, holding his head, righting the corked bottle from the night before that has tipped over, um, and begins walking around his bunk to start trying to freshen himself up for this day, what he is forced to face.
Okay.
Passing by on his desk, there are small travel books of card game strategy, um, mathematical formula. Also mixed in there is sort of books on like esoteric numerology as well. Probably there's I think there's a Shang-Chi set on his desk, magnetic so that it doesn't like tip over during turbulence, and it's set up currently in an unfinished chess problem.
Very cool. So, given all of that, I think that you need to roll a willpower plus discipline check for me. I'll say
I'm not optimal at either of those things, so
you're the one who picked your
I
stats.
sure did.
This is it is going to be an average roll, so it's going to be hard for you to beat.
Yep. Yeah, these are not neither of his strong suits.
Hmm.
Okay. do max rolls explode in this system or no?
No, they
They
don't.
don't. Okay. Yeah, because it's built off of the Savage World system, but I wasn't sure if that carried
Mhm.
over. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the total of 6 for me.
Okay. So you have an option here. Now, you can just take the failure, or if you wanted to spend a plot point, it would add 1 to your roll. Plot points spent after a roll only add 1 additional point.
I think I'm just going to take the failure at this point. I
Okay.
think that the nightmare that he just had has probably shaken him pretty badly.
hmm Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's that cold sweat that just dampens your skin and makes you feel like there's something gripping you, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that for the next roll that you do, you're going to do it at a 1-step disadvantage. So that means that if you were to roll a d8, instead you would roll a d6. Okay. So you are awake, getting ready for your day, not doing the greatest, but you're awake. And then we shift over to Aaron. Sorry, not Aaron. Names, character names. Uh, Quinn. We shift over to Quinn.
So Quinn, her normal bunk is next to Ness's, but over the
Uh-oh. No, the video went. The video went. Oh no. Okay,
All right.
for now, we'll shift over to Rouge.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so Juniper.
Yes, Juniper would be in the
sorry, am I
engine
back?
room. Oh, okay. We can keep with
Okay.
Quinn.
Okay, cool. Quinn.
I still can't see Anya or Brendan.
Oh no. Tell
A refreshing
to
issue. Can you-
refresh.
yeah, try refreshing.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I will try
video has a
refreshing.
moment.
You go.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So Juniper is in her usual part of the ship, the engine room,
Mm-hmm.
not just because she's the ship's mechanic, but also because as at this moment, she has her little distillery that she's built for herself in a corner of the where she is currently pulling some of probably what is about to be the most god awful hooch that you've ever tasted.
Mm.
But you know, beggars can't be choosers. So she pulls the bottle and takes a sip, makes a price, and then proceeds to keep drinking it as she leaves the room to take the bottle of hooch to what counts as a kitchen for this ship.
Okay. So I'm going to say for Juniper, I'm going to need you to roll willpower plus, you know what, willpower plus discipline still makes sense here.
Okay.
And this is going to be, for you, this is going to be an easy difficulty. So you just need to beat a 3. So just don't botch and you're fine. Snake Eyes is a
okay.
botch.
So it's just as long as it's that do I give you the total or is it just
Yeah,
what's
give me
on
the
each
total.
individual die? Okay, I pass. I've got a 5.
You got a 5. Okay, yeah. And so keep in mind, if you have 7 points more than the difficulty, that means it's an extraordinary success. So if you had gotten a 10, then, oh, this is totally fine. You're good. It
That would have been really
burns.
impressive when rolling a d6 and a d4 together. That would have been worth an
Yeah,
extraordinary success. Yes.
100%. So it burns as you drink it, but you've had this kind of alcohol before. You're totally fine.
This is not my first time drinking my own specific brand
Mhm.
of hooch.
Okay, so
Oh yeah,
now,
I
yep.
do actually, just for future reference, because I have
Mhm.
heavy tolerance, if that roll was specifically
Ah.
to resist the effects of alcohol etc., I actually get a +2 step bonus.
Okay, yeah. So instead of a
D6,
D4, you would have rolled it or whatever
rolling
it
a
is. Yeah.
D8 for my vitality.
Yeah. So 2 step means two dice up.
Oh, I just assumed
Yeah.
it was +2, as in like going
No.
from
So
like a
if it says
D6 to a D8.
step, then it's
Step.
the die improves. Yes. If it says
I'm really
+2
good at drinking now.
-2,
Like just the best
yeah.
at drinking.
Okay. So then coming back to Quinn then.
Yeah, so Quinn has, over the last couple days, learned about Ness's night terrors the hard way because Quinn is a reader. So Quinn has some minor psychic talents, not as good as some, not as bad as others.
Mhm.
But that and nightmares don't mix. So she has started sleeping in a hammock in the cargo bay. And she's an early riser, so she has her squawk box playing instrumental music. She doesn't really like music with words because it's very weird for her to hear voices and not hear anything in her head. And she has a book and is mostly trying to tune out what is happening on the rest of the ship.
Okay. So, as a reader, then, as you are just basically attempting to relax, um, I would say this is, it still feels like willpower to me. Um, Willpower, and I'm going to say perception in this case, if you have it.
Alertness? Oh no, perception.
Hmm.
Right, yes, that is a skill. I
Yes.
have perception.
Okay, so perception and alertness then, or willpower.
Okay, perception and willpower.
Yeah. The nice thing about this game is you can also argue for a different ability if you want to.
That is an 8.
Okay. Yeah. All of these rolls at the beginning here, they're not terribly difficult to do. So you, for the most part, are managing to drown out the chatter in the back of your mind. You've gotten used to it over the past couple of years or so that you've been flying on this boat. It's challenging, but it's quieter than some, which helps. And as you are sitting here in this hammock, listening to the music, you watch as a cup of tea floats over to you from the area, the common area, as your ship is haunted. And the ghost has taken a liking to you, seeing as you recognize that they are there.
Uh, Quinn is gonna take the tea and just nod and say, "Thank you kindly," and just lean back. And it's not easy to drink tea in a hammock, but
No,
she's trying it.
for sure. Okay. So now we pan back over to Rye. Now let's see. As you are like you're working on another piece, or perhaps you're just placing that that horse in ready to set. You hear a beep in your earwig, a sign that a wave has come through to the bridge, being as you are the pilot. Oh, you're muted.
I'm sorry, my audio cut out. Can you repeat that
Oh,
last sentence for me?
yeah. There's a beep in your earwig, and that's a notification that there's a wave that has come through at the
Oh,
bridge.
by the way, if people don't have earwigs, I bought a full set of them, so
Everyone
everybody
has
has one
earwigs.
now.
I incidentally also did. Yay, earwigs for
Hey.
everybody.
like when we go to a planet, we're just like, you get an earwig and you get an earwig. Um, and I think kind of Rye carefully kind of sets down the equipment in a way that will be safe if things happen in a way that is unanticipated, and kind of clambers out. Am I able to identify from like a panel somewhere close what the issue, or if it's like a proximity beep or like a radar
Oh.
beep? I have radar, by the way. I'm very
Hmm.
good at radar.
So a wave means that someone has sent you a message.
Me specifically, or just the ship?
The ship. Yeah,
Okay.
but you have to go to the bridge to activate the message.
So okay, I'll go there. And I think I'll say into the earwig, we got a message.
Okay.
And I want to go find out who our message is from.
Sounds good. So you clamber up through this firefly, which you all have named the Watasenia. Did I pronounce that correctly?
I think the saying we named it that is somewhat of a misnomer. At
Yeah.
4:30 in the morning, I was like, this feels like a thing. It's
Yeah.
named after a luminescent squid. So, you know.
It's
Watasenia
the
works for me.
Watasenia.
Yeah.
No one said no to it, so I just ran with it.
Mhm.
This is how I get away with many things in life. Technically, no one said no.
Honestly, you
Exactly.
had me at bioluminescent cephalopod, so
I know, right?
Yeah, this is.
What's
I want
not to
everybody
love?
to picture me at like 4:30 in the morning googling luminescent animals. Did you know that there are a lot of luminescent animals? Science is wild, y'all.
Yep. But in any case, you head up to the bridge of the Watasenia, and you find a voice message for you that let me get this. So it's a voice wave, and the text scrolls out onto the cracked screen of the monitor as you hear the distinctive voice of Badger, a self proclaimed businessman who takes a liking to less than legal business propositions and has sent you on more than one job in the past. Now, I did make a fun little graphic for y'all, and I'm going to post it in our little chat. But you also don't need to be over there to read it if you don't want to. And I also did not practice his voice, so apologies. So he says, I hear tell you're looking for work. Maybe I have a job for you if you can get there in time. An interesting artifact on St. Albans I have a buyer for, but best be quick about it. It's the grand prize at their Festival of Light. Get it by any means necessary and bring it to Persephone.
Okay. Well, because if I remember correctly, and it's been a long time since I watched the show, so forgive me. Waves are like voicemails, right? They're
Yeah.
not like phone calls. So
Correct. In this case, it's just a phone call, and that phone call has been auto transcribed onto your screen, basically.
sure. So I'm gonna basically repeat that, but I think that Rye does like her best impression of Badger's voice. If this is the Badger from the show, it's extremely Cockney.
It is. I just can't do a Cockney accent.
Shout out to
Oi,
Mark
governor.
Shepard. I hear you're looking for work. Might be I have a job for you if you can get there in time. An interesting artifact on St. Albans I have a buyer for, but best be quick about it. It's the grand prize at their Festival of Light. Get it by any means necessary and bring it to Persephone. And I think Rye does the accent.
Quinn is just
Um,
like, you have no idea how jarring this is for me.
I just like to provide an authentic communication experience.
I should point out that Juniper did bother to procure an earwig, is the term for it. So someone might have to actually go physically let her know.
We have two set. We bought two collective sets. You have an
Yeah.
earwig.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You might not be wearing it because you might
I
be
don't think
like,
she wears it as a rule when she's
Doesn't
on the
wear it
ship.
during
She doesn't
hooch
want it.
time.
Yeah.
She doesn't want you guys intruding on her. Yes, private hooch time. This is her me time. It's called self-care, guys.
This is Juniper's time.
Juniper time.
Then I think Quinn would go and find her then.
It's probably a known thing that she does not bother to wear them very often if they're all on the ship.
I mean, technically, someone could just hit the comms and do a message to everyone, but that's very loud. This is just a hey, by the way.
so, everybody, let me know if you want me to put a course in. It shouldn't be too far out of, well, I was gonna say out of our way, but I'm not really sure where we're going. I mean, I know where we are, but I'm not really sure where we're going. Yeah.
Let's say you are here and you need to go here. It's like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it's not too far. Couple of days. Pretty easy run. Knock on silicon. Hello?
The festival of lights is a good time. I haven't been to St. Albans since I was a teenager, but yeah, no, festival of lights is a good time. I mean, I feel like, hey, even if there's no work, unwind during the holiday season.
Well, the Festival of Light is really pretty. I could definitely sell some of my. Oh, Festival of Light.
Oh, believe me, there's all kinds of well-heeled folks on St. Albans looking to bring home some sort of a authentic tchotchke. So
Well, I mean, it's genuine
I'm saying you should
space.
upcharge him.
Oh, that wouldn't be nice, but probably yes. Um. Well,
Well, thank you, Ness, as a valued member of our crew, for your advice in this matter. Quinn says a little backhandedly.
I'm sensing some tension.
This is like a group call going on.
I'm just gonna go make some coffee
Juniper's
and
missing all of it.
recalculate the route. So y'all just have fun with your little spite thing, okay? Okay.
Okay. So, in that case, I would say, Rye, I'm going to need you to chart a course.
Okay.
I need you to roll agility plus astrogation.
Okay. I have a D10 in astrogation and a D10 in agility. That seems good. Uh, 7 plus 9, so 16.
Extraordinary success times 2.
I win.
You absolutely win. You know exactly where you are. You know exactly where in its trajectory St. Albans is, and it's actually a lot closer than you thought it was, based on its orbital path. And so it's easily like 2 days away from you, no problem.
I think for this, because she wants Juniper to hear, she does use the comm system for it and says, all right, it's going to be about 2 days to St. Albans. I will be finishing my horticultural series. I need to make several more Lily of the Valleys and 12 more lavenders. And I think it just goes on like that for a while, like listing various plants. Do you think that they would like succulent stained glass?
On St. Albans, ain't the Festival of Light a winter festival?
But there's still light there
I mean, you're making springtime plants.
because we dream of spring.
And
The
St.
comms work
Albans.
both ways, right? If Juniper goes
Yes,
to
in
like
that case,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she goes to whichever the closest thing is and be like, did I miss a conversation when I was drunk again? Why are we going to St. Albans?
Almost certainly, yes. Um, and I think Rye will once again, for everyone's benefit, do the badger voice and just repeat the message precisely the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, works for me. Carry on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go keep an eye on the engine room, make sure she's running all right.
Okay. So you head back over to the engine room. Everything seems to look perfectly fine from this standpoint. And you make your way over to St. Albans, which you know to be a planet that is essentially in perpetual winter. It is the planet that people go to for their ski trips and stuff like that. And the people of St. Albans themselves, you could think that, oh, they're in perpetual winter. They must be miserable all the time. But in general, on the whole, of course, people are their own individuals. They are known for being warm and welcoming and inviting. And so you head this way. And as you have perfectly charted a course, you break through into Atmo. And the first thing that anyone on the bridge can see is a mountainous landscape covered in snow. The mountain range here reaches high up into the clouds, and it only takes a short while for the Wadasinia to find its way to the capital city of Avala, where the Festival of Lights is in full swing.
Um,
So, mhm.
I think basically we dock, and as soon as the cargo bay opens, Rye is kind of pulling people to kind of set up a little booth in the cargo bay, because I imagine, I mean, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but I
Mm.
imagine that there are vendors set up pretty much everywhere with like various crafty things and like food
Mhm.
and whatever, because the whole town is celebrating. um and I think Rye basically kind of makes herself comfortable and pulls out a sign that is, because I did buy painting supplies, and I think
Mm.
that there is a sign that says Rye's Glass Oddities, and has like a big arrow pointing to a table.
Okay. So, I will say, first of all, before we get to that, as you land, you always fuel up whenever you're in town. It's going to be 300 credits collectively to fuel up on this. And you all have had a hard couple of weeks, shall we say. So you are pretty hard up on cash at this point. But you are able to stock up on fuel. You set out this sign. Um, what is everyone else doing here?
Well,
Hmm.
I guess we're not gonna start the job until Rye's done her selling. So, anyone else want to see the town?
I mean, you could
Uh,
all go and like scope
sure.
it out.
They've gotta have like some interesting, like, food and maybe drink stands as part of this festival.
I could also befriend one of our neighbors and have them watch my stand for me, because I, me myself, the player, have been to craft fairs, and that is what
Hmm.
happens.
Oh, 100%. I've sold at craft fairs as well. People absolutely do that.
But
Yeah, and
regardless, someone
mhm.
who is good at looking at things, which ironically I am, um, is going to need to probably do reconnaissance regardless. I said not in my character voice. Someone should
Yeah.
probably go take a look around.
Yeah. So we'll say that Rye, you're spending your time setting up, getting ready
Hmm.
to sell some things that people who've lived here all their lives have maybe seen on the Cortex, but they've never actually seen in person. Plus, they're glass. But in any case, so meanwhile, character names: Ness, Juniper, and Quinn. Do you head out into the town itself?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Mhm.
Okay. So you head out and very quickly are encompassed by this crowd that fills the streets with color and lights. They're braving these freezing temperatures to play games of chance, eat freshly baked pastries, stews, and the puffy sweet dumplings known as Dampfnudel. Yes, those are here in Germany. Everyone here is a riot of color in knit hats, shawls, and more. And you do indeed see all different kinds of booths. There are glass ornaments and trinkets. There are ice planet snacks that are a specialty of St. Albans, knitting booths, lounges, all different kinds of things.
I think I think Ness's first trip is actually going to be to try and find a Cortex terminal.
Okay. Yeah, and that is not hard because while you are kind of just on the outskirts of the crowded areas, you can see all of these things. There is a Cortex terminal right in front of where you landed, as is common on planets.
And so I think what Ness is going to try to do is I'm going
Hmm.
to see if I can use my friends in high places asset.
Okay.
So our job from Badger, if I'm correct, is to get the grand prize. Is that basically what it is?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
So
correct.
uh, I'm gonna say, just sort of describing, I guess, who this person is. So that, like I said, Ness mentioned he's been here when he was a teenager. He hasn't been since. It's a long time ago. But his his family's friends have a chalet on St. Albans.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
and he remains friends with some members of that family, whom he's willing to put down some money are probably here. Uh, and he wants to try to reach out to them just to see, like, if they've heard any, gossip, so heard
Mm.
any gossip about this prize and what the situation might be with it.
Yeah, and it's been a little while since you were in contact with them, but one of these children has grown up and become the mayor of Avala.
Mm,
Their name is Cinder Gemelin, Cinder with
Cinder.
a Y,
Hmm.
because sci-fi.
Cinder with a
Um,
Y, but it's not where you think.
it's replacing the I. But it does not take long for them to reply back to you. And you can hear their voice, their excitement for you to be here as they say, "Oh, it is so good to hear from you, Ness. It's been quite a while. Um, what is it exactly that you were looking for?"
Oh, I just happened to be rolling through town for the holidays, and I heard about this contest. You know me, I've always had a competitive streak in me, and I was just curious if if y'all you'd heard any of the shohua going around about this prize.
Oh, well, that's the ice bounty hunt. It's something that's become a bit of a tradition since I became mayor. Now, someone always donates whatever the grand prize is, and there are competing teams that have to go and find it and rescue it from the bounty who has stolen it. So it's a bit of a challenge. People of all walks do it, so long as they have a shuttle that they are able to fly. And although some people do go by foot, it's a little bit more tricky for them, but they can do it. But yeah, it's a secret. The prize is revealed at the end.
Now, and I wouldn't be asking you to reveal any kind of trade secrets, an elected official or anything. But like I said, I don't know if there's just any kind of don't suppose you're willing to give an old friend just a hint, to get him started, would you?
I mean, if you want to join, you're more than welcome to. I think I could pull a few strings and waive the entry fee for you.
I'll tell you what, that would be appreciated.
Right. And as for anything else, I'm going to need you to roll.
Hmm.
I'm going to say this is going to be willpower and either performance or discipline, your choice.
I'll go with performance in this
Okay.
case. I couldn't use persuasion.
Persuasion, yes, does apply.
Okay. All right. I will try. I'll try persuasion. All right. Will
Mhm.
persuasion.
This will be a hard difficulty.
All right. That puts me at a 7.
Unfortunately, hard is an
An
11.
11. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they just shrug their shoulders and say, wish I could help Ness, but that'd be unfair. Already waiving the 100 credit fee to get in.
Honestly, I appreciate the friends and family discount.
Do what I can.
Well, hopefully I'll see you in the winner's circle, Cinder.
Yeah, well, I'll be up at the podium. Sure you'll see me there. Hope to see you there.
All right. Well, hey, if I don't see you before then, Junie Johnsai Jimbao.
And for me as a person, please tell me what it means.
It just means wishing you wealth and success.
Okay, cool. That is not one of the 3 languages that I speak.
I think at that point, Quinn would actually just walk up behind Ness and just say, "What you looking up, math boy?"
And Ness closes the connection. And I'll just catching up with an old friend. Seeing what we can do about this job here.
All right.
You might be pleased to know that whatever this MacGuffin is that Badger wants y'all to get, I might have just gotten y'all in.
In what?
Into the contest.
Weren't we gonna steal it?
I mean, yeah, you can always steal it, but it's going to be easier if you're already in the contest.
He did say by any means. Winning it is a means.
Now, like, I'm not saying. I mean, get it however y'all need to, but I'm just saying sometimes the official channels have their uses.
Right. Can I tell how? I mean, I, the player, know.
Yeah.
But can I tell how truthful Ness is being? Because I think that Quinn would be suspicious.
Yeah.
Do you?
Go ahead.
Well, hang on. Do you have the empathy specialty?
I do.
Okay.
And
empathy,
I get +2 step to tell if someone's lying because
Hey.
I'm.
Yeah, so empathy plus alertness and bump up your alertness by 2 dice.
Okay, wow, this is a lot.
What is your alertness?
My alertness is 10, so that would be
Okay.
12 plus 2, right?
Mm-hmm. 12 plus 2 plus whatever your empathy is.
A d10. I actually rolled very badly. It's an 8.
An 8. Okay. Well, I would say that it's not terribly difficult to read Ness. He does seem very truthful to you, although maybe it's one of those, like, your perception is colored by not particularly liking him that much. The vibe that I'm getting anyway. So you begrudgingly believe him.
All right. We'll try it your way. I'm still going to case the place, though.
By all means.
Did you learn anything else? Like where it is?
Unfortunately, no. Uh, Still trying though. I got some other contacts that might be able to work, but for right now, just got y'all in with a little friends and family discount. No entry fee.
All right. Maybe maybe you got your uses.
I, I'm either the luckiest man alive or the unluckiest. Honestly, only Fulu Shol knows for sure.
Okay. So, Rouge, what have you been doing this whole time?
She has been wandering the festival, but once she found a bar, she probably
Mm-hmm.
stopped looking quite as hard for like feeling the place out and got herself a drink.
Yeah, just
Absolutely.
for
Like,
fun.
there are
Grip it,
booths here
baby.
that, oh,
Slop that down, dude.
what's the thing?
Yeah,
Yay,
dude, crack one for the big
donation!
boy.
Yay!
Yeah, I just saw the GIF pop up. Yeah, so it's not difficult to find anything because there's like hot meat vendors. There are, sorry, my pug is trying to push the door open. Yay, she did it. Um, there are like eggnog places and things like that. There's also a very popular local bar called the Frosty Flute Lodge.
That is absolutely where Juniper would end up. Like maybe she grabbed a drink on the way from one of those stands
Mm-hmm.
and kept walking, but once she finds the bar, she, goes in. So maybe like chat
Mm-hmm.
with some of the locals and get some information.
Yeah, and as you enter in, this is a very, very warm, humid space. Think like a, a a ski lodge, not at a downhill ski resort place, but like a ski lodge for cross country skiers. It's very nice and close and warm. There is soup on at the fireplace. There are fiddlers playing up on the stage. It is very lively and boisterous, and people just like keeping warm around the central heating space. And yeah, you're able to pick up a drink, and you are sitting next to I would say an older gentleman. He is just kind of huddled, and he has his hot cocoa in his hands. It's like, oh, you're in from off planet. That's nice.
Yep, here for the festival. It's a nice little event you guys got here.
Yeah, well, we do it every year around that time.
First time, so it's all novel to me.
Oh no, he dropped his chocolate because I did that anyway.
Oh dear.
My cabbages.
Yeah, well, the big event's about to start, so you came right on time.
The big event?
Oh yeah, eh, excuse my dog. The ice bounty hunt.
Yeah, I
It's a big thing.
heard about that. Any
Yeah.
idea what the prize is this year?
No one ever knows. It's all crated up. It's always a gift from people over in Bellerophon or, those kinds of things. Hello, pug. You cannot hear me. Stop barking at me. Uh, so, uh, all different kinds of prizes. One year there was this really fancy looking gun from Earth that was. There was some weird video game console. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it had like these weird cassettes that you had to blow on. I didn't get it, but in any case, it's always something different. It's always worth a lot of money.
Wow, sounds like a fun time. Is it usually totally anybody's game, or you know how it is? Is there someone who's normally the winner in this sort of thing?
Nah, anyone can enter. There are a couple of locals who are pretty good at it. They know all the hidey holes and all that. But yeah, so long as you have a shuttle with some good sensors, things like that, that's half the battle.
All right. Well, anyone here won won a previous year, I'd love to go pick their brain for any tips.
He like scans around the crowd and points out, "Oh, Captain Scald and Locke over there. They've won once or twice. Bit of a cutthroat though. Be careful with them."
All right. Well then, how about I try and make a good impression? Give me two of whatever they're drinking. I'll go over and introduce myself.
I mean, you can do that yourself. I'm not the barkeep. I'm just here with a hot chocolate.
Oh, right. I will.
They're over there.
Thank you. Yes, I am socially aware. All right. So she'll actually go to the bar and repeat that same,
Mhm.
hey, whatever they're drinking, can I get two? Like one for me, one for them, basically. And then she's
Yeah.
gonna try to sidle up to the captain.
Perfect. And I'm gonna pour myself some more of my water because I am thirsty. Captain Scald Locke is a rather muscular looking person. She, they pronouns. She has like very bulky, even underneath the layers and layers of clothing for this cold planet. Very neatly braided hair tied back in a little ponytail. Has a very serious expression on her face, and you can see that there's like a scar coming down one of the cheeks, probably from a knife fight or something of that nature.
Fun, fun. Juniper's gonna go up and be like, hey, hope you don't mind. I thought maybe you could use another, and it's going to place the drink on the table for her.
Just
Be like,
a standard ale.
name's Juniper. I heard tell that you won this little contest different some past years, and was wondering if you had any good tips for someone in town for the first time looking to have a good time with this contest here.
So she looks down at you because she's a good like head taller than you, grabs the drink that you placed in front of her and said, "Don't get in my way." That's a good tip for you. Gives you a little wink and walks off.
Yeah, well. Is any of the rest of her crew here that I can tell? Like, was
Um,
she at a table with people that were like,
no, she was just hanging out at the bar, just like off
okay,
on one corner.
well, what can you do? And Juniper's just gonna start drinking her own ale.
Okay. So we will cut back now to doing character names. Ha! Oh no, the sheets are all out of order. This is why I have things everywhere. We cut back to Rye. So Rye, you've had quite a few people come by and purchase your wares. I would say that over the course of say an hour, you've sold 4 pieces. Some of your better work, your more recent work, I would say that you get about, let's say, 200 credits for that. You're muted. You're, Jilly, you're muted.
Sure am. I'm gonna have to spend it immediately. So,
Mhm.
I did this to myself.
Mhm.
So I think like she goes around getting little gifts for people
Okay.
at the stalls. Like she has one of the neighbors like watch because I think she does that for other people too. Like I think Rye
Mhm.
makes fast friends wherever she goes. Um and I think she's also trying to find out more about this prize. Just kind of in casual like conversation. I don't think there's anything particularly pointed. It's just like, what's some weird stuff that's been part of this in the past, or like anything to give her an idea of what the whole process is like. Um, but I think she's kind of subtly getting information, but also shopping because of reasons.
Absolutely. So you gather much of the same information as your other
Sure.
crew members, and like talking in your earwigs confirm things. The major theme that you get here is that the only person who knows what the grand prize is the mayor. They're the only person who actually knows what it is beyond the person who donated it. Um, and
And we don't know who that is either, right?
You don't know the donator. They have not been announced. It is after the fact that their
Sure.
name is announced, if at all. Because sometimes the donations are anonymous, but a lot of rich people want their names out there. And so they're going to be like, hey, look at me. I donated this big prize. Da, da, da. So,
Right.
you know.
So I think Rye is just kind of chattering away to people, trying to get more information. And
Mhm.
if and when the crew finds their way back, they probably find her like sitting on her table chatting to people. Um,
Mhm.
and whoever comes up first, Rye's just like, I got you a gift. And there's like tiny little gift bags. They're not fancy. They're just like
Mhm.
little paper bags.
Yeah. And one of the big things that you would have gotten here, absolutely everyone knows when you go to St. Albans, you need to go to the Ice Planet Emporium's stalls and you need to get their Ice Planet snacks. They're these globular snacks on a string that are flavored. So there's
This
like
is the thing
blueberry.
where River's like this, right? In the
I'm pretty
show.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, yeah. But there's blueberry, raspberry, mango, chocolate, and cayenne. If you want a little bit of spice in
I
your
will say,
ice
I also
Yeah,
cold.
wanted
just
to
had
give a
fun.
fucking
quick
grip
side
it,
note,
grip it,
which is
baby.
as
Slop
much as
that
I
down,
love
dude.
this world and this
Yeah,
game,
dude.
fuck
Grab
Joss
one for the
Whedon.
big
Just as a side
boy.
note.
Mhm.
It's an
Oh
important
yeah,
disclaimer.
absolutely. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that Rye has gotten like a selection of ice snacks, including like what I imagine to be, I don't know if anyone has this nearby, but I'm imagining like the freezer chest of its sandwich cookie ice cream cookies that
Oh, okay. Yeah,
people
yeah.
were talking about at Big Bad Con because it's right next to the Its factory. So I imagine that there is just like a freezer case that has a bunch of ice snacks in it.
Yeah. And from all of this, you have spent all 200 credits.
Of course. That's
Yeah.
my as is my want.
Yep. Exactly. So, one of the things that you all collectively would have gathered with going out throughout the crowds here is that the competition, the ice bounty hunt, is going to begin very very soon, and that most everyone first goes to the kickoff announcement in the town square. So that is about to begin in, say, 30 minutes.
So, if it's happening so soon, the thing we're trying to steal is probably already hidden. So, breaking into the mayor's mansion probably ain't as much of an option as previously thought.
Sure. I mean,
Doesn't
it's
necessarily doesn't necessarily mean that you know they might not have information there about where it was hidden.
Oh, we can cheat. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a good plan.
I think that's a great plan, but I think we need more information in order to know how to cheat.
Just like people who try to create shortcuts in races, and they are absolutely not a shortcut.
Well, I haven't been really able to find any more information on the actual process of it. So maybe this kickoff will have, I mean, at least we'll start on the same footing as everybody else, right?
Well, and I think Math Boy's got a old friend that might be able to help us.
Oh, do you prefer Math Boy? I'm sorry, I've been calling you by your name.
Ness is fine.
Okay.
No, yeah, the mayor, the mayor and I go way back. Um, Unfortunately, rules being rules and all, she wasn't willing to they weren't willing to give me a leg up. Uh, but they were willing to waive the entrance fee, so at least we'll be coming out of that ahead.
Well, that's really nice of them. I almost feel a little bit bad that we're stealing their prize. But I guess if we technically win, then it isn't stealing, right?
You're not
The fact that
wrong.
no one else
Yeah.
is agreeing with me is very upsetting. But
Anyone,
I'm just gonna move swiftly on.
anyone you walk away from.
Well, I prefer to I prefer to fly away, but to each their own.
I think this is the point where Juniper wanders back up with another drink in her hand and is like, so
Mhm.
we what has everyone else been up to? Anyone
I got some Ice Peak espresso beans.
Yeah, those will probably go really nice in this hot meat if you want to drop one in there for me.
That is certainly a choice that you are making.
I think yeah, Ness takes some of the Ice Peak espresso beans and just starts chewing on them.
Mhm. It is a zing, and also a cold one, which you wouldn't think they would do in a cold planet.
Any information from the local barflies?
Just and to like scan the crowd, and if this person is as big as I recall you describing, can like
Mhm.
sort of point to where they are head and shoulders above most of the crowd. Be like, sounds like that's a person to keep our eye out for. A previous winner, not the friendliest. Best tip that was like to part with for a drink was to stay out of their way. So maybe keep an eye, and if they are not sticking with the pack, try and figure out why.
Do they like glass?
We did not really converse about our personal interests and hobbies in the short interaction we had, but you're welcome to give it a shot. Only thing I know is they like ale. You'd
I mean, who
think
doesn't?
that would mean we'd have more in common, but no.
Well, okay then. So you hear now over intercoms that are placed throughout the streets here. Uh, the mayor's speech is about to begin. Please make your way to a viewing panel or to the town center.
All right.
So, do you head that way? What do you do?
I mean, I think Rye will kind of toss her stuff back in the cargo hold.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully not
and-
toss since it's glass.
Well, I use it. I mean, she knows how to be around glass, so I assume like it's there. She has cases for this kind of stuff. I assume.
Mhm.
I think she probably re-requisitions like all of the extra like packaging that they have at any given
Mhm.
point from jobs. But then she's gonna say, should we go watch it in person
Would it make more sense to do it in person, or does the competition start like as soon as the speech is over? In which case, we kind of would want to be on the ship, ready to go, actually, and just watch it from a panel on our ship if we could.
So one thing that you did get was that they said shuttle, not ship.
Right, right.
We have a
Because then that
hovercraft.
makes it a little bit more, well, there's hovercrafts, there's also, you have 2 shuttles on the ship. Yeah. Which you can use for whatever you want, because you don't have an Anarasera living on one of them. But so yes, you could patch into the feed through one of the shuttles if you wanted to do it that way.
I mean, I guess if it is indicated that that's how we're gonna do it, then Rye will go start to get while people are watching this, presumably on a view screen, Rye will do like the pre-flight stuff to take, because presumably we're going to be taking off
Mhm.
after the speech is over.
Mhm.
I want to get in a position where I can read lips, see if I can catch anything from either the mayor and their people or our big competitor.
Okay. So, what I'll say is that there's a little bit of time between the end of the speech and the start of this
Okay.
race.
Then yeah, we could go watch in person
Mhm.
then,
Yeah.
because
Like
that'll be
getting
more
everything
interesting.
prepped and all set to go, of course, helps because that takes time. But you would be able to go in person and then make your way back to your shuttle.
Mhm. Cool.
So, you head through the bustling crowds, making your way to the town center. You see that there is a stage set in the center of this town with projections displayed on many of the buildings surrounding it for those unable to hear directly. There's a cheerful figure that Ness knows, their jet black hair pulled to the side in this complicated braid. And they step up to the podium, raising their hand in a wave to the crowds. Welcome, everyone, to the Festival of Lights. For any off planet visitors here, I'm Cinder Gemelin, the mayor of Avala. Our big event of the festival is about to begin. I hope you're ready for it. We are prepared for the ice bounty hunt. Now, for those who haven't been here before, the name of the game is to find the broken down shuttle of the person who stole our artifact that has been generously donated and relinquish the prize from them. It is anyone's game. However, we do request that no one shoot down their fellow competitors because that is not in good sporting behavior. Uh, but indeed, whoever reaches that shuttle first and takes the prize from our handy dandy bounty will win it. So I see that we have, and they look at this long ish list, we have 10 competitors this year, 10 teams who are competing. So thank you, everyone, for your generous support of the festival, and we will begin in about 30 minutes. So if everyone is prepared, time to get back to your shuttles and let's begin. And let's see, I would say have to look at names. Quinn. Oh, I put it over here. Papers everywhere. So, Quinn, I think that I need you to roll an empathy and alertness roll as you're scanning the crowd around here.
Can I? Well, actually, my empathy is better than my read lips, so I'll take it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You were saying read lips. So like watching people talking amongst themselves, things like that. I would say yes, because that was what you meant to do. That would be the one. That's the lovely thing about specialties. You can make up your own specialties. So sometimes I don't know what they are.
I
But
didn't make that
yes,
one up. Actually, that was one of them.
fascinating. I love that. Okay, so yes, reading lips and alertness in that
Ooh,
case.
that's a
And this
3.
is okay. So what I was about to say is this like a stepped difficulty for what you're able to see. So like if you had rolled significantly higher, then you could have gotten more information. On a 3, beating an easy difficulty, at least you didn't botch. When you roll when you roll all ones on your dice, because if you only roll one die and you get a 1, it's also a botch. But when you roll all ones, it's a botch and something terrible happens. So you rolled a 3, which is the important thing. And as you're looking around, you catch from the description that Juniper gave to you before this large, muscular figure who is just leaning down to a woman with a bright red shawl covering her head, nasty expression on her face, just kind of laughing a little bit at what the mayor said, and you catch one thing from Captain Locke's mouth as they say, "Yeah, right, that's going to happen." Right as the mayor had said, "Don't shoot your competitors out of
That's
the
what I
sky."
figured.
But that's all you're able to catch.
Um, would it be possible for me to try
Yes.
to just sort of do a perception check on the crowd to sort of get a general, like, if I roll real well, any little clues that I happen to pick up on?
Absolutely. This still involves alertness, so perception plus alertness.
Did we already shout out the second donation? I don't remember if I missed it or
Mm.
not.
I did not notice there was a second donation.
It was me, so it's fine.
It's still a donation. We love
Shout
Okay,
out
so
to
that's
Brendan.
so that was a
Yay.
10. Is that
Mhm.
enough, or are we saying that it was a harder roll than that?
I would say that this is going to be a hard difficulty. So you can
Okay.
spend a plot point if you want to bring that from a 10 to an 11. You have 6 of them throughout the entire game, and we're about
And
halfway
those
through it
are a
now.
shared resource, correct?
No, they're individual.
Oh, each of us gets 6.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
in
I'll spend one.
campaigns, yeah. No, in campaigns, any plot points that you don't use get turned into advancement points so you can improve your stats, basically.
Absolutely, I will spend that plot point in order
Okay.
to get me a little bit of a perception boost.
Okay. So what specifically are you looking for here?
Um, anything that's sort of like out of the ordinary, that looks
Mhm.
suspicious, that looks like maybe it is a thing to note as far as either things to be aware of like maybe this is not an equal playing field, or people
Mhm.
who may not play by the rules that we need to look out for, or who like seem
Mhm.
like they already are not paying attention, like they already have the information that they need. Just like sort of like a
Mhm.
general idea of like interesting like things of people not behaving as they should, and like just picking up on sort of a thing that I want to go find out more about.
Yeah. So, what you're seeing is that there are 10 competitors, like groups of competitors in this, and all of them are, well, most of them are clustered around. There is one group that is not here, which strikes you as a little bit odd. Just based off of what you're seeing here, like there are groups that are like nodding, and like you can tell that they are a part of this event. But yes, there's one group that is missing. You also notice that I would say more than one group, more than just the captain that you tried to talk to, look a little bit more on the mercenary side. Like Mayor Gemelin seems really chipper and excited and happy about this event. It's great because of the prize that tends to attract less savory types.
I'm going to sort of lean over to the rest of my group and just be like, guys, this might be a little bit more of a dangerous mission than we thought.
Yeah, your captain's planning on shooting people down.
I don't think she's the only one. This looks like it's less friendly competition and more cutthroat than the the description of this event led us to believe.
I thought this was a friendly scavenger hunt.
I think that it's only as friendly as the competing, and the people competing are not that friendly.
I'm friendly.
Something occurred to me. Uh, what if Badger's hedging his bets?
Oh, that definitely seems like a thing that Badger would do.
Honestly, it does.
Also, I think quite honestly, Badger would do it not just so he wins, but because he would think it's kind of fun.
Speaking of bets, uh I think Ness is mingling in the crowd. He's do I would say doing several things. So let me know kind of what I need
Hmm.
to do these things. One is he's trying to get from conversation, just chatting people up about what are the odds makers saying about this year's competition, because obviously people are going to be betting on the outcome.
Hmm.
Well, so what are the odds makers saying about this year's competition in terms of who the favored people to win are, and what as I'm sure there's probably also people placing bets on what kind of thing the prize is going to be, like who is gonna turn out to have donated it.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. So, sidebar, I don't know how like the betting stuff works, as I've learned from running a couple of sessions of gambling.
I mean,
But
and there's all kinds of different systems for doing it too, in terms of like the
exactly.
odds and the payout. So like, I think the specifics are not terribly important. Like, I don't care about
Yeah.
them that much.
Yeah.
I have a stat for that. That's why I put
Yeah.
stats into it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was just my sidebar being like, I don't know what the 2 to 1 chance of winning. I don't know what that means. But I would say that I'm gonna have you roll your gambling and either intelligence or alertness.
It's cool. Okay, that's gonna be good. Let me double check.
And I'm actually your character sheet was the one that I printed out. So just tell me if you choose alertness or willpower or
Uh,
intelligence.
I'm gonna do intelligence,
Okay.
and so that's gonna be a D8, and I get a 2-step bonus on gambling. So that'll be a D8
Hmm.
and a D12.
Excellent.
Come on, come on, come on. All right. Well, okay, that could have been better. That is a 9.
A 9, which beats an average. So this is
Okay.
one of those that would be like there are steps of
Yeah.
difficulty here. So I
It
would
would be
say
it would be 2 plot points to bump it up to the next tier.
yes, it would.
Can I spend more than 1 plot point on 1 roll?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll burn 2 plot points to see if I can bump
Okay.
that up an extra degree.
Okay. So, as you are scanning the crowds, mingling, trying to hear things, you hear people murmuring about, "Oh, this last minute edition that we weren't expecting. It completely changes all of the odds. Oh, have you ever heard of this group before?" Like just muttering back and forth. You hear that people are always curious about a last minute entry, and so they're actually some people are just like putting really heavy odds on you guys winning because why not for a last minute entry? It makes it fun. But you do also hear the name Captain Locke a
Mhm.
couple of times,
Mhm.
and that she's scary and therefore much more likely to be the winner.
All right. And what I'm also kind of hearing from that is that since we're suddenly the new underdog, that probably puts a target on our backs as well.
That is definitely the vibe that you're
Yeah.
getting.
Well, while he's here, he's gonna take the money that he would have spent on the entry fee and just go ahead and
Mhm.
see if he can make some money off that and put that down with some bookies on us winning.
Absolutely, easily enough to do. So
Yeah.
you put down the
Um,
100 credits on you guys to win.
yeah. And I guess the second thing he was doing was trying to get information about like past years, i.e.,
Hmm.
specifically where the prizes were found in past years, the
Yeah,
location.
yeah,
Trying to
and
see if he can get enough information that he can try to do some data analytics at it.
okay. So you managed to get a couple of locations. Just I'm gonna go off of like because you were looking at like people betting and oh they were betting on the locations as well.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you are going to be able to get that information with that 11. So you hear about a couple of places that there are some like within the mountains themselves is very very common. It's never going to be like visible from the town because that would be pointless. um, Sometimes it has been like an hour's journey away from the town. Other times it has been relatively close in the woods. The one important thing that you get from this is that there is a specific beacon that gets a little bit lost in the noise and the chatter of all these other beacons that are going off, and like people communicating with each other and things. But that's the thing that you need to look for.
Cool. Okay, so he's going to take that information, and I guess while he's walking back to the ship, I have a data book, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to start the process of trying to like plot out these locations on a map,
Mm-hmm.
basically, so that we can eliminate those locations as likely places, just be
Mm-hmm.
places that's been in the past, because probably not gonna put it the same place twice. But then see if he can uh, do some statistical distribution. See if he can figure
Mm-hmm.
out if he can sort of predict some of the placement behavior of
Mm-hmm.
the prize.
Okay.
Gonna be a math boy about it.
Yeah, be a math boy about it. Do you have a stat for that?
So see, math whiz. So I get a
Ah,
+2 step attribute bonus on intelligence for all actions relating to accounting, engineering, and navigation. I would probably put this under navigation.
navigation.
In
So I
any
would
situation that
say,
requires immediate mathematical interpretation.
okay. So I'm going to say that you are going to need to roll this in conjunction with Rye being the
Okay,
pilot.
sounds good.
So let's say you all head back over to the ship, uh, get into the shuttle, get prepared for the takeoff, and you had sent in your shuttle's information when you were signed up. And so this is one of the things of this race is that everyone's shuttles are tracked so that people can't make a head start from the beginning, like maybe potentially that one group who wasn't there was maybe trying to do. Um, and so you get in, you get settled to go, and there's this chirp alarm that comes from the console as Rye, you're sitting down ready to take off. And it is the mayor just saying, "Okay, everyone, it is time for you to take off. Good luck, and we'll see you on the finish line." And you are given that uh, go ahead to take off. And I think that this is a very good place for us to take a 10-minute break, if that sounds good to you guys.
Sounds good. All right. Nobody go anywhere. We will be right back.
Bye. But anyway, hello, we're back. Yay! I was just saying, I am waiting on a delivery that's coming in about 20 minutes, so I'll disappear very briefly at one point and then come back. But in any case, the I was about to say the heist is on, but it's not really a heist because you're a part of a competition. So you have been given the go starting flare, what have you, from the mayor, and it is time to take off. So, character names. Names are my downfall. Rye and Ness, because Ness has done some quick back of the napkin calculations, although not really because he has his little handset thing. But the two of you together, I need for our pilot to roll the ship sensors plus alertness.
What
And
are our ship sensors?
no. So your sensor ability.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, is it that the radar?
Yeah,
Or-
exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So I need you to roll that. And then I need for Ness to roll intelligence plus whatever your math stat thing is. I'm looking at your math whiz again.
So it gives me an intelligence boost when I do it.
Okay.
So really whatever stat you want to combine with intelligence is up to you.
Okay. I would say intelligence plus knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay.
So I rolled a 12 on
Oh, wow.
2 6s on a D8 and a D6. I want to also say this is not for right now, but I want to kind of voice this to the table. I also have culture and history, which I'm hoping might be helpful if there's like places of significance that I think either that they would avoid putting it at because it's too obvious, or like they would be like, oh, we'll put it near this because of historical, cultural reasons. So
Okay. So we've got a 12 for Rye. What did Ness roll?
Actually, also a 12.
high five.
Amazing. That beats
Ooh.
an incredible difficulty because in this case there are two ways to help. One of them is a planned action in which this is what you're doing, where you combine the rolls. I'm forgetting the actual names for them. The other one is that you each roll and then you take the higher number. So in this case, we're combining the rolls. You beat an incredible difficulty, and so which was a 23. And so, as you take off, you are one of slightly less than a dozen of these shuttles just jetting off. Everyone is scattering in all different directions as Ness, you have kind of calculated and triangulated the different areas that it could potentially be. The idea that you are getting is that everything leads east of town is the general area. The problem of that being that there are mountains and there are valleys in this area that kill sensors. And so there are a couple of dead zones in this area that potentially this shuttle could easily be. And so you have that general idea, and potentially, hopefully, as you get closer, you'll be able to catch up on that blip. And for Rye, as you are navigating past, you notice that there are a couple of other shuttles that are following along in the same general direction as you. And one of them you'll note is the shuttle that Captain Locke went
Sure.
into. Because
Um,
of course.
I want to see if I can like cause with something that I have on this ship that I'll spend credits for because I have some around. I want to cause a sensor blip in another direction.
Interesting. I'll say you can spend a plot point to have planted this in the
Sure.
time that you had.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that there is, just from everyone's reconnaissance here, that there is this like general, very low, very light static that this shuttle sensor is supposed to give off. And so you very quickly, one of the things that you did while the others were away and like they were relaying things in the earwigs so you kept up to date, one of the things that you did was you hurried off in one of the shuttles, just opposite direction, only about 30 minutes away because you had time. So you had planted this and made your way back, made your sales of your glass sculptures, and you trigger that to go off. And when you do that, you notice as one of the ships careens and goes a different direction.
Hi. I want to check the shadows because I'm convinced it's probably, if it's here, it's going to be in one of the shadow zones.
Okay. So I would like, so with that 24, you're going off into the distance. I would say, and this is one of those things where everyone needs to do a task. So what would you say Quinn is doing in this moment?
So Quinn has a analyzer sensor.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to see if we can just jury rig something to have it sort of in a very low or like kludged together way just see if there's metal that it can scan for
Oh,
if it's a
okay.
shuttle,
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
because it
So,
provides chemical analysis.
mm-hmm. So for that, interesting. I am going to need you to roll. Do you have technical engineering?
I do not know.
Okay.
I have technical engineering.
Yes, but this is Aaron's role. So, do you have survival?
I do have survival. A
Okay.
D2, but you know.
You know what? Every little bit helps. So I would say survival and alertness.
Okay.
Is there any way I can help with this? I want to help my friend.
You can donate plot points.
I
If
will
you donate
donate.
a
I
plot
will
point,
for sure. Would you
okay.
like a plot point?
That's a 5, so I think I
Well,
will.
so if you had taken it before you rolled, you would have turned that D2 into a D4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I was
So that was a
rolling.
that was a discussion before you had rolled. So I will allow you to re-roll it because the way it works is plot points before the roll, you change the die that you're rolling. Plot points after the roll, you just add one to your roll. You add one number to your roll. So I will allow you to change the roll to re-roll this because it was a discussion that was happening in the midst of your roll.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of the D2, roll a D4 and roll your other die again.
Well, that's a 4 instead of a 5.
We
Oh,
tried.
no. Well, to be fair, in this case, it doesn't make any difference because you're over a 3. So I would say that you are just too far away currently from wherever this space is. Like you're going out a fair distance, scanning over the massive pine trees all in this area here, and this sensor is just not powerful enough that you're not picking anything up. Then Juniper, what are you doing to help here?
I mean, she's keeping an eye on the engines, and while she's doing
Mm-hmm.
that, as long as nothing seems like it's cropping up as a problem, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to try and use knowledge to also see if there's anything I recall about this terrain that would give us a
Okay.
hint about things to look out for.
Okay. So I would say, yeah, then knowledge and intelligence.
Okay, and yeah, okay. It's gonna be a 9 altogether.
A 9. So you're trying to recall what would be helpful, things that you know. You think back on, you've scanned through the cortex, looking through, basically like Wikipediaing it, just looking through, trying to figure out some information about the terrain here. And one of the things that you note is that there are, like, you beat an average difficulty. There are 2 potential pockets that would be ideal for them to hide a shuttle. There is a cave system that people love to talk about that, interestingly enough, according to Ness, has not been used as one of the locations, at least of the few that he found out about. There is another that is like not quite a cave structure. It's an overlook that there's an overhang, and tucked underneath that, like in one of these dead zones, could potentially be a location as well.
I'll pass along that intel to our navigation team of just
Mm-hmm.
So, what I can remember from one of the books that I read about the planet is, as far as like cool geographic, is that there's two big ones that would probably make sense to be used in this competition. There's the smaller one of like the hangover, and then there's like the whole cave system, which would be a much bigger probably search area if we start going there.
Okay. That would make radar very important. Even more important than the importance that was already important. So I mean, do we have access to like a partial map of those caves? Like, is there anything that can I spend a plot point to materialize a map?
How many plot points
Man,
have
you're
you
not
spent
just
so far?
broken credits, you're also like gotta spend
Yeah.
all these plot points. Make it
I
rain.
mean, we have about what, an hour left of this?
Yeah,
I
less
haven't
than
spent
that, yeah.
any. I've spent one plot point so far. So
2.
2. No, I didn't. And oh yeah,
spent
2.
the one
Okay,
for
I still
Aaron,
have
yeah.
4. YOLO.
Yeah. Okay. I will allow you to spend a plot point for this. You have a rudimentary map of the cave system. It's not terribly big. So, you have a rough outline of it. It looks like shuttles could easily pass through this area. Maybe potentially this is used for a smuggling area. You don't know.
So what I might do, if Ness is okay with it, is hand the map over and have Ness work out, given what we know about the size of the shuttle, what would be the most likely places that they would kind of hide it in there, if they're gonna hide it in there.
Okay.
Just because I assume I'm flying right now, so it seems
Yeah.
like it's a better idea not to try and multitask with that.
Yeah, this isn't like flying out in the black where you can do other things besides holding on.
Mm-hmm.
No texting while driving.
I just
Exactly.
picture you just like handing Ness this like big like fold out like topographic map that just like spreads out across the cockpit. Just, like,
It's 100% one of those ridiculous, like, you get it in, like, it folds into, like, a thing that looks small and then is outrageously large for no reason.
also
There's,
just want to
like,
shout
a
out.
little...
Also, just want to shout out. Thank you so much for the follow we just got. I didn't get a chance to catch who the username was, but thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. Go ahead.
One of them was me, but I don't know if that was me.
Yeah, just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip
No,
it,
it just
baby.
happened.
Slop
then
that down,
welcome
dude.
other human who
Yeah,
also
dude,
followed
crack
today.
one for the big
I
boy.
forget that Twitch exists sometimes.
And thank you so much for the donation from our ship's engineer. Thank
Shout
you so
out.
much.
That's what paid for the map.
Yeah.
We bought it.
Oh no.
While you were staffing your little glass tchotchkes
Exactly.
aftermarket. There was
Yep.
like a souvenir map of like the cool destinations around the area, and you bought that, so that's what we're using. And it's like has all of this like decorative art to like display interesting places that they suggest you go check out in person.
It's like points of interest, and then there's
Exactly.
like a particularly tall hill and like the caves.
The entire
Oh,
backside of
no.
it is just advertisements for local
Yeah.
places you should go to, like eat, drink, shop, etc.
The
I'm getting
planet's
flashbacks because I used to work in tourism and we absolutely sold these maps.
Yep.
the world's
I know the exact
largest
style
ball
of
of
map that's being
twine.
made in this moment.
There's a place where everybody throws their used cans and someone's made it into like a giant sculpture.
Oh, absolutely. Canon now.
Canhenge.
Oh my goodness. I am going to write that down for my campaign.
You're welcome.
And
This is a personal goal of all games I play, is to force canon things into the world that then have to continue existing.
Oh,
On
100%.
on St. Albans versus largest can sculpture.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the prize.
Yeah, that is spoilers.
That would be terrible. Can you imagine how do you get this on your shuttle?
That's your problem. You won the prize. You gotta haul it.
Look, Badger, you asked for this.
Oh my god. Well, you know what? If you don't win, you could always just go grab it and be like, this was
just
the
go steal the
prize.
versus largest can sculpture. All right, what would you like me to do with this map? Roll with this map.
Well, before we get to that, there is a sudden impact of something that causes your shuttle to rock. And you note out of the sensors on here, there's another shuttle that is just at your 4 o'clock that has just shot something into your shuttle.
That's so rude. I think that's what Rye says.
Mhm. And so as that has happened and you're knocked a little bit, you're knocked slightly off course, and you watch out of the window as the shuttle that Captain Locke had entered zooms past you, moving forward.
Wow. Just wow. I bought that woman a beer, and this is how she repays me.
I have, as I previously stated, so many grenades. Including EMP grenades. I want to make that everybody else's problem.
So
Are we
I'm
gonna
going to say,
throw them?
I don't know. This is the problem. I'm not really I assume I can't just be and then my ship throws a grenade.
that would be hilarious. I'm going to say, because I saw your character sheet and I know how many grenades you bought.
It's so many.
It's so many. If someone wants to spend 2 plot points, there can be a hatch at the underneath the shuttle here that's been added as a modification to the shuttle, so that you can put grenades in there, fly over them, and release them.
I'll spend 2 plot points.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, here, do you want to split it? We can each spend 1.
Sure.
All right, cool. Because I was going to say, because I do have heavy weapons and in my backstory Navy experience, so I figured maybe that could have been partially Ness's contribution. Is basically installing a makeshift bomb bay in the shuttle.
Yeah, it's very clearly a homemade, not professionally done kind of thing.
Yeah.
It functions, and the shuttle is space shape. Space safe. There we go. That's the word.
Yeah.
But
we basically just figured out
have to go back in and make that look better in the future.
We basically just
unaware that you made those.
Frozen.
I think we basically just figured out. We basically just tapped into the waste flushing system and figured out a way to make it flush grenades instead.
Yeah.
We were just shoving grenades into the toilet.
Oh, no.
All right, I think I'm back.
Yep, you're good. I think.
All right, I was just saying, Juniper made
No.
a mental note. Upgrade this in the future.
Juniper made a mental note to something.
I think to upgrade this in the future.
To go back in and do this properly in the future.
Okay, sounds good.
None of this makeshift modifications nonsense.
So I'll say I need Rye to roll pilot plus agility, and I need Ness to roll the heavy weapons, whatever you have with that, with your strength.
Strength, okay.
Yes. Which doesn't fully make sense for, we're chucking these down at, but it's the best one that suits, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's a 9 and a 3, so that's 12.
Okay.
And that's a 9 for me.
Okay. So with these ones will be separate. So with a 12, that beats a hard. So as you're like recovering from that impact of whatever it was they shot at you, you can't quite tell. You just see the sensor going that there's slight damage that's going to need to be repaired. You feel this like anger inside you for them damaging one of your ships, you know? And so you immediately take off after them. Slight heartburn for a shuttle, but still. And you manage to get over them. And then on a 9, that beats an average. I would say you're not able to get all of the ones that you wanted. Which grenades are you dropping on them out
So
of
I'm just looking at
curiosity?
that.
Mhm.
So sorry, it's this PDF is for some reason not scrolling in the way that I want
Oh.
it to. Because I have concussion grenades. I
Mhm.
have pulse grenades, I think. Oh
Yeah,
no,
let
those
me
are only
see.
available Alliance. I guess I don't have those.
Yeah, you
Oh,
wouldn't have those.
all of the EMP stuff is only Alliance, so I guess I don't have those.
I mean, regular grenades do still go boom.
They
Well,
do.
regular grenades are also technically Alliance, but I did run this by our DM, so I'm gonna say I have them because I can.
Yeah.
I had so much money that I had to spend. So can I say it's a concussion grenade then?
Yeah, let me take a look at that.
Or I mean, flashbangs could probably cause problems to a ship, I would say.
Well, flashbangs are to
Well, to
stun
the
an
pilot,
enemy.
definitely.
Yeah, that would help against the pilot. Concussion grenades have a small blast radius. They're less dangerous in the open, but can still clear an area very effectively. So I would say you could do a mixture of the two if you're trying to aim for like the window of the shuttle.
Just the
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would
generalized,
say like concussion grenades would be better.
Concussion
generalized
grenades
shock
I
and awe
have.
strategy.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
have 10 of them. So go do your best, live your dreams.
I
You
would
know?
say that you're able with the average difficulty success, you're able to get 3 of them out.
Mhm.
So not all of them, but decent enough. And
Mhm.
then let me see. Ugh. Of course, because there are screenshots, I don't have the information on how much they do. That's the optical bomb. I'm going to say roll a mm, 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 mm. Roll agility. This is going to be Ness.
It says 4d6b,
Oh,
if that makes a difference.
that does. So roll that for each one.
Okay.
So Ness is going to do this because he's the
Oh,
one
good.
dropping
Great,
them.
because I
Okay.
don't have more d6s out, so that works for me.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is 4d6 for each of them, so 12d6.
Mhm.
All right. Good thing I play Warhammer.
I have all my D6s out because I was just playing a lasers and feelings hack.
Okay, so that is 17 for the first grenade.
Okay. I'm going to get a calculator out.
Very close to that. 20 for the second grenade. Okay, that was nearly a max roll.
Yeah.
And okay, all right, actually quite good rolls all around here. So 12, 15, and another 20 actually.
Amazing. So
Different
that
spread,
is
same result.
that is 57. So I will say it is a good thing that this isn't against a human being, it's against their ship. Because life points like are very commonly like in the teens.
Not
And
but a fine mist.
Yeah, so with 57 points of damage to this shuttle, it blasts it and immediately takes a nosedive to the ground and
Bye.
is starting to spin as it does so.
Yeah,
You
Ness
definitely
waves out.
messed something up with the navigation.
Ness just waves out the porthole. Xinyan Kuaila.
And so you continue onward in the direction of you wanted to do the cave system.
I guess. Oh, no, go ahead, please.
Can I look out and try and see, like, observe how they're doing and, like, if they'll get up from this?
Roll perception and alertness.
Perception
If you have an applicable
and
specialty, of
alertness.
course, go for it, but
intuition, maybe?
no, this is more like
Okay.
visibly looking at them. $15. Well, it didn't explode on impact with the ground, so that's good. That could have very easily happened. But they're probably going to be pretty decently hurt. So you might need to go back and be a medic for them later.
Yeah. On the way back, I think we should stop by there. They're not dead, but
Hopefully.
not
You couldn't see
great.
anything because it's a ship, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might be kind of pissed and not appreciate us trying to help after the fact.
You could send a wave to be like, hey, one of the ships went down.
I mean, sure. I mean, Rye doesn't want to, like, kill people. She just wants to win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she would be like, and I think she sends this out to, like, everybody. It seems like one of the shuttles had an accident and is spiraling towards the ground location, and we'll give the coordinates of the location. Someone may want to send some medical assistance over. It looks very, very bad.
Did you send that to the other competitors?
No, it would have been like to the local
like,
alliance.
admin authorities,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Like,
Include the other competitors by mistake as an intimidation check.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, really, they're not going to waste their time going back and fighting these people because they want to find the thing, right?
Mhm.
So it's probably reasonably safe to do so, but
Yeah. I just had a thought. Aaron, I want you to re-roll that.
Okay.
Your things don't go
man.
smooth. Because you have the complication, things don't go smooth.
Right.
So,
Okay, that's now a 5.
cool. Yeah, you have no idea. They could be injured, they could be dead, you are not sure. So, it's good that the authorities were called because you're like, they're all dead down there.
We have
Yeah,
blood on our hands.
I think maybe we should go back and check on them.
we can go back later. I mean, Rye will go.
It's a bit of overkill,
if
guys.
asked
Though,
to stop, Rye will go. But it is not Rye's inclination to stop, I should say.
And sorry, Juniper, you were saying?
I was saying it does feel a little bit of overkill to have just completely murdered the entire crew of people.
I
'cause they
wasn't
shot
trying
at
to
us.
murder them. I was just saying we have to disable the ship. And unfortunately, I can't get EMPs because although I have all the money in the world occasionally, it's really difficult to get delivery.
Right, grenades kill people.
So does sushi.
Grenades
I
kill
think
people. So does sushi.
I think
Well,
Roy
next
puts
time we
it
can
in
throw
reverse.
sushi at him.
Like there is a very dramatic like fine. And basically like I'm visualizing this like a Harrier. This is not a smooth landing. This is like fine and then sulk and we land.
Oh, you're going to land to check on them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will
Ryan's
say you've
being made
sent
to feel
out the
bad about
call.
this.
You have sent out the call. I will say
Yeah.
that. But you go and you check, and you are not far away from the cave system here. And so, worst case scenario, you can hoof it to the caves at this point, as the trees are all encompassing, really tall pine trees everywhere. And where they've landed, they have gone through a number of trees here. And so, excuse me, they skid down to a halt in this kind of like hollow area. And you do hear, when you leave your shuttle, sounds of activity within that other shuttle.
Quinn is going to approach with her shotgun, but loaded with a beanbag.
Okay.
Are we off? Because I'm getting mixed messages here, guys.
I was told to stop, so I'm stopping.
So as you approach, you are given just the slightest warning as the door swings open and a rifle pokes out and immediately goes to shoot you. So I'm going to need you to roll agility, because this is your just natural innate ability to dodge. And I'm going to roll agility plus rifle.
I'm just going to spend a plot point on that right now.
Valid. D8 and a D10. Wow, I rolled terribly. What did you roll?
An 8.
I rolled a 6. It is so
Yay.
rare for a hit to not go. Oh my goodness. So I would say that you see Captain Locke just a little bit dazed, immediately goes to shoot you, and the bullet just swings wide as you are prepared for this to happen.
Yeah, Quinn is just like hiding around the side of the door, just like, y'all okay in there?
Am I allowed to curse, Brendan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I hope so, because I think I have already.
I did not remember, and different things have different rules. Anyway, she just calls out, "Fuck off, you blew up our ship."
All right, I think that's my due diligence as a doctor.
I think Rye has just been sitting in the pilot seat waiting, and it's like, we ready to go now?
Yeah, Quinn is going to quickly walk backwards, shotgun still aimed at the ship.
Another
Back
shot
into the-
goes out, and very clearly not even trying to hit you, just trying to get you to go.
They seem very friendly.
Nice folks.
Mm-hmm.
Just them down.
They seem
Not
like
even
they're
shoot, we
fine.
bombed them down.
If I'm honest, they seem fine. So let's go.
They're fine.
Told you they'd be
So-
fine.
So you take off once again?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna need one more sensor plus agility roll.
Okay, that's I think it's radar's D8, right? Maybe.
Just so you know, I hear a van outside, so that might be my delivery. We'll see.
D8. Okay. So a D8 and a D10. Okay, that's a 7 and a 6, so 13.
Hey, 13 beats a hard difficulty. It doesn't take long, and as you pass through into this dead zone area where the cave system is, you begin to pick up the faintest of beeps. It gets louder and louder and faster the further you fly in. And eventually you find yourselves. Oh, there it is. I will be right back.
We find ourselves. Dun dun dun!
Suspense.
A side note, I'm going to show off my dice while we're on a quick moment. These are,
Ooh.
they have shinies.
Mhm.
They're magic dice.
Very nice. This is the dice set I am using.
Ooh. I'm really a sucker for the slightly transparent dice. Like, that's my genre of dice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect dramatic timing.
Right? Yeah.
Dun dun dun!
You find yourself. Oh no.
Cut to commercial.
We took a dice display break.
Yes.
I love it. But yeah, so you find yourselves outside of the cave system, and it's like, oh, what's the thing? Like people who are looking for coins on the beach, whatever the beeper thing is.
Metal
Um,
detector.
Metal detector, words and stuff. I know words. I know too many
Beachcomber.
languages, so
Yeah.
You know the best
words in my brain.
words.
Yeah, but you find yourselves outside of what appears to be a broken down shuttle.
I want to find a safe place to land, relatively speaking. If I can get us a tiny bit of cover, that would be great. But it's
Mhm.
safe is the priority.
Yeah, and you're able to fly past it in this narrow space to set down the shuttle like around the corner so that if someone else comes forward like through the cave system, they aren't going to see it. Um, but yes, so you're able to settle down around the corner here.
People
What
who
do you
are
do?
better at like lifting things and doing stuff should probably go first. No one here is good at lifting things,
No.
right?
No, none of us.
I have no athletics, but I have a decent strength stat, so I can try.
I mean, I guess it depends on how broken it is. Like, do we have to like hack our way in, or like, is the
I
door
mean,
there?
there is a door. It exists.
I mean, I think Juniper is gonna go and see if she can't just like
yeah, is Juniper our
engineering
overconfident
work on
person?
it to get it open.
Oh no,
What was
that's
that?
me.
Oh.
Yeah, then I think Quinn will just go up.
With Juniper, I'll say.
Yeah. Still shotgun slung at her hip.
Okay. And so, yes, it is not, so it is there, but the door is not able to be opened. So I would need a mechanical engineering and willpower or intelligence from Juniper.
Would a specialization in machinery maintenance or mech repairs qualify for this role?
It would, yes.
Okay. Then it is going to be this plus this. That is going to be an 11.
An 11, which beats a hard difficulty. Now, this is a general competition. The difficulty of these things is supposed to be a little bit challenging, but not too challenging. And so, as you are like fitting the wirings back together and like noticing that, oh, this needs to be over there, not over there, oh, this piece has fallen down completely, like you're able to with I would say with Quinn's help as just another set of hands, you're able to get this door functioning again.
Sweet.
and you press it to open it up, and it just does that decompression and shifts up. And you find sitting in there just having a nice hot cup of hot chocolate is a member of the Alliance, just relaxing, sitting next to this crate. And he looks up and goes, "Oh," sets it down to the side. uh, Congratulations to our winners for completing the test. Well done. You have found the, and he's like very presentary in the most awkward way. You have won the Ice Bounty Hunt. Here is your prize.
Cool. Can we open, or do we just like put it on our shuttle, or like
We can
Oh,
go.
you can
open it here?
take it, bring it back to the town center, and then you will be awarded a prize from the mayor as well, like a little gift bag thing, and you can open the crate there on stage.
Okay, so there's a whole ceremony. Okay, cool.
Incredible ceremony. But yeah,
Got it.
congratulations.
Great. Do you happen to have like any, hover
Hover what?
carts to like move this to, or do we just have to like
Oh, so it's not
ourselves?
terribly big. Like it's
Okay.
yay big crate. It's weirdly thin though. It's like this thin.
The second that it's on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
I want to open it.
And Quinn's just gonna close the Alliance guy back in the shuttle afterwards.
Yeah. No, I'll wait till everybody's gone. We can reseal it. We can make it look like this. I mean, I can't, but I'm sure other people can.
It's actually a like requirement that we weren't allowed to like open it before we deliver it or anything.
Yeah, we have to open it on stage, but there's nothing saying we can't open it and then close it and then reopen it again. I didn't sign anything.
All right, what is it? The suspense is killing me.
So, I assume that you have like a crowbar or something like that. You can just open a crate, no problem. So you prise open this crate and set it on one side since it seems to be like relatively flat. You open up the crate and there's like all manner of like those really thin pieces of paper that just are space fillers, and so you're like digging into it, and you find what appears to be a large plaque upon which is a strange green plastic fish with a wooden plaque with a little sign that says "Big Mouth Billy Bass" with a giant red button on top.
Oh, I've read about these. They're an ancient Earth artifact.
I press the button.
And it immediately goes into a rendition of "Take Me to the River."
Oh
Rye
god, the words, it's a fish. Ah, damn.
loves this. Rye thinks this is amazing.
It's like listening to history.
It sings. It sings the song of its people.
It sings and dances.
This is, it's like Earth that was speaking to us in this moment. It's in the room with us right now.
I can feel it.
Look, as long as we're getting paid, I don't care if this is actually what they wanted. Let's just take it back.
No, this seems like something Badger would want.
Badger would really like this.
And so you head off. You do the awards ceremony. Ness, your old friend, claps you on the shoulder when you win and just says, I need to give you a drink for that. Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate the last minute entry.
Hey,
wasn't
well
sure Wasn't sure about our odds, but I got confidence in this crew.
Clearly well deserved. Shame
Out of
about that
curiosity,
other crew.
out of
That
curiosity, where'd you get this thing?
it was a private donor. Wanted to be kept a secret for some reason. These things, they're worth easily a couple thousand credits.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, like it belongs in a museum.
It really does. I've never seen anything like it.
Meanwhile, Rai is mounting it for right now. On like the entrance, like the bridge in Pride of Place.
Mm-hmm.
And gets like an extender, so it's too high to like push the button, but you
Mhm.
can press it with a
I'm just
little.
picturing you getting one of those back scratcher things that the
Yeah,
high rollers crew
precisely.
uses to push their characters around on
Yeah,
maps.
it's like with the little claw hand. Yeah.
Mhm. Easily enough. It's a
to make
tchotchke.
sure that we don't run down the batteries that are presumably in this thing as Rye enjoys it for the ride back to delivery. It's a way to like run it directly into the ship's power so that we are not using the battery, just running every time she hits the button. It's just using ship power
Mhm.
to run this thing in the meantime to
The
make sure we
lights
don't
dim a little bit.
kill
And
it.
for some reason
by
uses a
all-
lot of power. And
Not very efficient, is it? Efficient?
ah,
Oh, that's a good joke
I'm gonna clip that.
because it's a fish. I understand.
Yes. And so
don't get it.
as
It's funny because it's a fish.
The word
You
fish
see?
is in it. It's
Mhm.
funny.
I don't
I'll
get it.
explain
Break it down
later.
for
It's
me.
fine.
Oh, it's funny because you explained it. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like,
And so as you jet off into the black, heading back to Persephone, interestingly, Rye, you're flying. You're not pushing the button, and suddenly the fish starts going.
I'm just grooving.
If that ghost plays that
Mhm.
fish all the way back, I am exercising this place myself.
Juniper will no longer go anywhere near the fish.
Oh yeah, there are points where it
Juniper-
just continuously gets pressed
Nope.
and no one's around.
Nope.
Bad news,
Juniper,
Badger. Fish is haunted.
Juniper will not enter the room that fish is in now.
And you head off into the black. The sounds of "Take Me to the River" just reverberating around you. And that is where we will end our game for today. Yay! This was so silly and so much fun.
We love a
Thank you all for
fish.
playing. Yeah, I was trying to come up
Girls in
with
the
things.
crate.
So I have I use the Roll and Play Press sci-fi book constantly for my Serenity campaign, and I was looking in the back at artifacts, and they described a floppy disk in the most hilarious way, and I was just like, what other funny things? Oh, Big Mouth Bass.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100% needs to happen.
Fair.
But yes. So, Brendan, do you need to say a thing before we do outros?
No, I think if people just wants to do
lost my headphone.
people do their outros, any plugs or anything, and then I can go last and I can take us out.
Okay, sounds good. So I will start. Hi, I'm Anya. I have been your GM for today. I'm also a pro GM on Start Playing. So if you like my silliness, my playstyle, all that jazz, I run games on Start Playing, and you should check it out. My username on there is La Lionne, which is the lioness in French. I am also La Lionne cosplay everywhere. I will be on Girls Run These Worlds on Tuesday playing a game of Toe Beans, which is a one-shot for D&D 5e with Cat Cafe, so it should be a fun time. Then, Brendan, you're next because you're right beside me on the overlay.
Brendan is going last because
Oh, last. Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part because my headphone popped out. Jilly, you go then.
Hi, it's me. My name is Jilly. I am an editor, a writer, an actor. I talk about Shakespeare. I talk about learning ASL. Believe it or not, I took like 6 or 7 years of French and just made the connection between like because I read your username as like word rather than 2 words, and so I was like, oh yeah, that is French for lion.
Yes.
I'm a
Lioness
genius.
specifically.
Lioness, yes, because
Yeah.
of the law.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the E. Anyway, not the point. The point is, I just did 2 one-shots for Girls Run These Worlds. I ran a game of Holiday Dialect, which was dialect at the North Pole. So we created elf language. And I also was in a game of Kids on Brooms,
Nice.
which was very fun and was kind of a festival challenge game. You can find me on Girls Run These Worlds. You can find me on Exquisite Corpse Presents. Our Ready Set Bake game is currently on hiatus, but you can usually find me on Fridays for Kel's Kitchen. And you can also find me on Sword and Key occasionally. I just did a 2-episode guest stint on their game of Humblewood, which is really fun and you should check it out. You can also find me here occasionally and just puttering around the internet having feelings about Oxford commas. So feel free to come and yell with me about these things. I don't think I have anything officially scheduled that I can announce, but I'm sure when I do or when I remember that I do, you will see me yell about it on all the social medias.
Very cool. So Rouge, you're up next.
So yes. Hi, you can generally just find me here on LFTA. And while we will
Oh no,
not
you
be
froze.
breakers this Sunday, I guess if Brendan confirms as the GM, this coming Wednesday, you can find us back here on LFTA for Cryptid Community College, our next session. Yeah, that's about it. You can otherwise generally find me under either Captain Rouge or Pirate Rouge on basically, which I think are also just listed below in like the regular cast information below this current video. And
Look down
otherwise,
there.
yeah, if you haven't previously joined the LFTA Discord, you should do that. We're fun, and that's where we coordinate when we do events like this, which is like one-shot events where we just like get a whole bunch of like guest GM and guest players together to like hang out and do cool stuff. So yeah, join the Discord if you haven't already, and that's it from me.
And then Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin. You can find me on Veil's Edge Games, basically wherever I am, Twitter, Blue Sky, Linktree, Itch, etc., etc. And I will be tomorrow. I will be playing in a game on Girls Run These Worlds for Brindlewood Bay. So if you want to see me play as like a Jessica Fletcher type old lady detective, come by. I will also be back here for Haz-Mas later this month, GMing a game of Skyfarer set in the world of Fallen London. So that'll be fun. And then also, I just released a big D&D book of time stuff called Saraza's Guide to All of Time. So if that sounds interesting to you, check that out on DM's Guild.
Okay, and then Brendan, your turn.
And I guess it is me now. Hello, I am Brendan. I have been one of these here space buckaroos today. I am also a GM and an admin here at LFTA. Roosh has already been so good as to plug the Discord. If you cannot get enough of this good Haz-Mas content, don't go away, because tonight there is another game running on the channel tonight. Tonight at when is the Goat Who Knocks? Anybody
Pretty
know?
sure it's 6.
6 sounds right. So tonight at 6, we are going to be having a game called The Goat Who Knocks, running, at least a Vassin, I believe is the system. Spooky Scandinavian Christmas. We love it. No Veil Breakers tomorrow, correct, Rouge?
Correct. No Veil Breakers
Correct.
tomorrow.
Okay, so no Veil Breakers tomorrow, but coming up on Monday, we have Santa's Little Helpers, run by Raph, which is going to be, I heard goblin themed. I'm hearing a lot about goblins, which also we love to see here. There should be class reunion, and theoretically, assuming that this audio cable does not also mysteriously vanish from my apartment, we will be back on Wednesday with Cryptid Community College.
Quick correction, we were both wrong. Tonight's game starts at 7.
7 for Goat Who Knocks. All right.
Turn.
And I think as far as that goes then, so I don't see anybody out right now whom we can raid, but I'm willing to take some suggestions. If anybody sees anybody on whom we can raid. Otherwise, I will just take us out of here.
I
Stella
see
Luna is playing
Dork
Magic.
Tales. Yeah, Dork Tales is playing D&D.
Okay. Let's see. Do some Dork Tiles.
Valdrianth is also on.
All right. Well, in that case, let me take us out, and we will do a raid. So, and also when we raid, there are some raid emotes in there if you would like, and to be awesome. Tell them that LFTA sent you, and Merry Haz-Mas to all, and to all a good night.
Woohoo! Where's the raid emote? I'll do that one.